Hello friends, Lee here from TableTop Bong. Thank you for joining me for part 3 in the manifesting series. If you haven't watched part 1 and 2, please go back, watch the first 2 installments, and then jump back up to here and carry on with us. Thank you for taking the time. Let's just get right into it. What I'm going to do in this video, of course, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to enjoy my tabletop bong in natural cherry. I have the 5-arm tree perk in it today. Gonna rip a few microdose bowls in my VapMan thermal extraction device, using a torch to heat it up. Super cool little device. So I'm just gonna, it's a nice device too, because you can, have a rip and put it down because you're heating it each time you want a good rip off it. You can just set it down and talk some more. So I thought I'd use this vaporizer today, and let's just start with heating this up and having a rip, and then we'll get right into this. In the video today, it's going to be a little bit lighter on the content, because I'm going to explain to you an exercise that I'm going to have you do, which is going to pull together everything that we talked about in the second installment. Really nice flavor with this little device. So we talked about imperfect action and clearly defining what it is we want and why we want it. What kind of experience is it that we want to bring into our life, and how to get that into some detail by sort of bringing it down into a more of a micro look at each part of it. So now what we're going to do with that information is going to seem so simple and so basic. But if you skip this step, you're going to trip yourself every single time. And do this step, and you're going to pick yourself up every single time. It's really crazy how this works. I'm not even going to try and pretend I can explain the magic behind it, because it is so simple. What we're going to do is we're going to look at what it is you want to manifest. Now that you've really understood what it is you want to manifest, we're going to look at what it is, and we're going to create a story for it. That's all we're going to do. Our mind loves to think in stories. So we're going to create one that makes sense, that's going to set your vibration into the exact right place for manifesting whatever it is you've decided you want to manifest. So here's how we're going to do that. It's super simple. First, let me just heat this back up for a second. This VapMan, it's really fun to use. I like the heating, the manual heating cycle. You can really decide what kind of experience you want to have with it. So much fun using that with a bong. Okay, so the principle of what I'm going to explain works basically the same way if you're looking for an entire life change, or if you're looking to manifest a single thing, like we used in part 2, the example of a car. So we're going to use that again as an example in this episode, because that'll make it easy. So if you want to manifest a single thing, like a car, what you're going to do is you're going to get an old school pad of paper and a pencil or a pen. This is really important. Don't do this on a keyboard. Don't do this on a computer screen. Write it down. There's something very interesting that happens when we transfer from our mind into the physical action of writing it and reading while we're doing the mechanism of making the letters with our hand. It does something inside our mind that tapping on a keyboard won't provide for you. So this part of the exercise is really, really important. So please don't skip this. Don't get lazy. Be motivated. Manifest like your life depends on it, because it does. Get some paper and a pen. And then you're going to write down exactly what the most perfect experience of that manifestation, what would that be for you? So the easiest way to cap that would be one day of having that experience. One day of having that car the first day. What are you going to feel? What are you going to do with it? Where, if it's a car, where are you going to drive that car? Who are you going to take with you? Where are you going to stop for fuel? Like, I'm talking, let's get into super fine detail with this and write down one day of the perfect experience with that thing. If it's a new vaporizer that you want to manifest, you know, there's nothing wrong with manifesting a volcano, for instance, or manifesting a TableTop Bong or a Vatman vaporizer. There's nothing wrong with setting your sights on something like that if it's what you want. So you can do the same thing with this. What would your perfect experience and your perfect day be if that was already in your experience? And write that down. But the most important part of this, and I need you guys to hear this, the most important part is not the physical actions. It's how you feel carrying out those physical actions. That's what becomes the baseline for programming your unconscious mind to set your energetic vibration to creation mode and to start bringing that thing into your experience, to set up circumstances that, as long as you're moving toward it, it's right on its way. As long as you continue to value it and give it your energy, you'll be programmed at that level, at that soul level, by sitting and writing down exactly how you will feel when you get that thing deep in your emotions. Spend time with it. If you do this exercise, and it takes you 20 minutes, sorry you missed it. Try it again. The first time I did this exercise, it took me about 8 hours. Because it's really important. If you consider you are programming your energy, you're picking exactly how you're going to feel when it happens now. So do that from a powerful place. Do it from a place of choice. Really think about it. Get detailed. Get into the micro with your pen and your paper. It's a really important thing to do. Now, what if you want a global change? What if you want your entire life to become different? It's the exact same principle. That's the good news. The story's going to take a little longer to write, though. But that's also the good news, because you're going to get to pick every part of how you feel all over again and reprogram your unconscious mind and your soul to find the circumstances in which that will be activated within you, because that's now the roadmap of your soul's destination. You've chosen it. So the way to do this, in my opinion, the very easiest, and I learned this actually, funnily enough, from an internet marketing program by a gentleman named Frank Kern. He's an unbelievable internet marketer. I was super interested in what he had to say. Didn't actually end up doing internet marketing of any kind. But I got this one thing out of it, and I did it. And I did this, it was quite a while ago. The internet was in its infancy, really. I hate to date myself. But anyway, so I did this exercise, and when I did it for the perfect day. What would the perfect day be like in my life if I could, win the emotional lottery? What would I do? What time would I wake up? Who would I wake up with? What would I do the moment I woke up? What would I think? How would I feel? What's the first thing I would want to do? What would I eat if I was going to eat breakfast? What would I drink? Where would I drink it? How would I feel while I was drinking it? And I wrote the story, and it was somewhere between 14 and 20 pages. It was a really, really interesting exercise because we spend a lot of time realizing the things that we don't want. But most people spend very little time looking at the things that they truly do want. If you ask the average person what they want in a situation, they tell you what they don't want. It's a really funny thing to see, but I understand that the unconscious mind, its number one job is to protect us, keep us safe, and keep us alive. So it will automatically, bring threats or things that we need to be aware of into our conscious mind. So we're wired to notice the negative. We're not wired to enter it. We're just wired to notice it. Somewhere along the way, we've got some crossed wires. But this uncrosses those wires. This sets our soul straight on exactly where we want to go and why we want to go there and exactly what we're going to feel. And if you think about it, if you're choosing this like the lottery, you're going to pick the emotions and the feelings that are really as close to pure light as we can humanly come up with. Most of us really want to feel that light and love in our life. So if you spend the time and really dig into what does your soul want, this is your chance. Write it down like you mean it. Don't be afraid. Don't limit yourself. The soul, it's unlimited, isn't it? So don't limit it on this piece of paper. You're allowed to feel as much love and joy and connection as you can possibly conjure in your imagination. Plus even more, I'm sure. Most of us can't even begin to imagine the unlimited amounts of love that is available to all of us because we have resistance. And that's okay. Resistance is part of the human experience. In the next installment, we're going to take what you've written down and we're going to use it as a way to identify the resistance that's going to slow the manifestation so that you can blast past those things, setting you up for a clear path to simple, effortless manifesting. So write down your perfect day in detail. Write down the perfect experience of manifesting that thing that you're looking for. Get as deep into your emotions. Who you're with isn't as important as how you'll feel with someone else. Allow space. It's okay to put details, but when you're in your emotions and it's the feeling, if you're sharing an experience with somebody, you want to feel the love with them. So if you have a feeling of love with one particular person right now and you say in your perfect day it would be that person, and then it turns out that person, maybe in a year you wouldn't want to share that perfect day with them anymore. It doesn't matter because it's about the feeling. If you meet someone else and you feel that same way, they fill in that blank. And if you don't meet somebody that fills in the blank, it will call somebody to you to fill in the blank. So you don't need to worry about how fine you get with the details in case your life changes. This is based on the emotion and how you want to feel. It's not based on the details. Your unconscious mind isn't so worried about the details. Your soul isn't so worried about the details. It's just our conscious mind and our earthly thoughts that are worried about the details. When we turn it over to our spiritual self, it becomes much, much easier. Thank you very much for watching this. I'm going to cut this video off now. Like I said, there's not that much to today's video other than this one exercise, but this is the most important exercise I think that most people can do in their entire life as a self-help exercise. It is truly life-changing if you can find it in yourself to believe that you deserve to do this for yourself. And if you don't believe you deserve to do this for yourself, think about somebody you really, really love. They deserve you to do this for yourself. Somebody in this world, if you can't find it in yourself, there is somebody that deserves the best part of you. Of course, it's you that does. Share it. Go into the space of programming your soul with this single exercise, now that you know exactly what you want to manifest. In the next installment, we'll remove the resistance that's going to slow down the manifesting and get you into high gear. Please like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Take care.